What you want to do is you want to remember the rules that you used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of fractions as well as integers. So all the rules that you used for fractions. For example, if we had to add or subtract two fractions, what we wanted was we wanted those fractions to be like fractions. Same thing will be applicable here. If you are adding or subtracting your rational numbers, you want them to be like rational numbers. The denominators must be same. और अगर denominator same नहीं है, तो हम denominator same करेंगे by taking the LCM of the denominators. That is something we did in fractions in chapter number 2 in first term. हमने लास्ट ईयर भी किया है, हमने क्लास 5 में भी किया हुआ है. इवन नाउ इन 7th स्टैंडर्ड वी हैव डन दैट इन चैप्टर नंबर 2. सो अगर किसी को भूल चुका है तो प्लीज रिवाइज हाउ टू टेक एलसीएम एंड हाउ टू कन्वर्ट योर फ्रैक्शंस इनटू लाइक फ्रैक्शंस. दैट्स वन थिंग वी रिक्वायर फॉर एडिशन एंड सब्ट्रैक्शन. सेकेंडली, फॉलोइंग of integers, जब हम integers को plus minus करते हैं, we look at the signs of the integers. So if the integers are of the same sign, we add them. The answer will have the same sign as the integers themselves. So if you're having two positive integers, you will add them, the answer will be positive. If you're having two negative integers, even then you add them and the answer is negative. Whereas if you are having integers of opposite signs, then you have to subtract. And then answer will have the sign of the bigger of the two numbers. दोनों numbers में से जो बड़ा number था, आप उसका sign अपने answer के साथ लगाते हो. So we will be keeping all those rules in our mind while performing these operations. We will be focusing on addition and subtraction. Then I will help you revise the rules for multiplication and division, which is comparatively easier because for multiplication and division, you can work with any type of rational numbers, not necessarily like rational numbers. प्लस माइनस के लिए मस्ट है, बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपके जो रैशनल नंबर्स हैं उनका डिनोमिनेटर सेम हो, जबकि प्रोडक्ट में और डिवीजन में you don't require them to have the same denominators. वहां जरूरत नहीं है, वहां पे चाहे डिनोमिनेटर्स मैच करें चाहे ना करें, हम सीधा काम कर सकते हैं. लेकिन प्लस माइनस में कंपलसरी है आपको डिनोमिनेटर्स को सेम करना है. अपने फ्रैक्शंस के रूल रिवाइज करो परफॉर्मिंग अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेशंस, अपने इंटीजर्स के भी रूल्स को रिवाइज करो फॉर प्लस माइनस मल्टीप्लाई एंड डिवाइड, सो दैट दिस एक्सरसाइज बिकम्स इजियर फॉर यू. Let's start with question number 1. This complete exercise is to be done. I will be giving some parts as homework side by side. We will do some parts during the period as well. So this is exercise 9.2 on page number 190. Write down the note, please. For addition and subtraction, you want to keep two things in mind. Your rational numbers must be in standard form. मैंने आपको ये पहले भी बताया था जब हम फर्स्ट एक्सरसाइज कर रहे थे, ये जब भी आपने अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म करने हैं, रैशनल नंबर्स को कंपेयर करना है, रैशनल नंबर्स को नंबर लाइन पे रिप्रेजेंट करना है, you want them to be in standard form. And what is standard form? कि आपका रैशनल नंबर जो होगा वो सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में होगा और उसका डिनोमिनेटर जो होगा वो पॉजिटिव होगा. That's a must. Then second thing we want is we want the rational numbers to be like rational numbers. The denominators must be same. Both these things are very important. So now if you just look at the first two parts that I've written here, you can see in the first case the denominators are same, whereas in the second part the denominators are different. So first one can be worked out directly without taking the LCM, whereas second part will be a little longer because I would need to find the LCM of the denominators, and then I will convert these rational numbers into the rational numbers with same denominator, just like I did in fractions. So if you are completely clear about the rules of addition, subtraction of fractions and integers, you will be able to do these very easily. Yes, Sahajpreet.
मैम अगर हमने फ्रैक्शंस को लाइक फ्रैक्शंस बनाने के लिए उन एलसीएम निकाल के उन्हें मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, फिर तो मैम वो स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में रहे ही नहीं.
In the beginning, you want to do that in the beginning. Later on, if you're doing like, see, the first I've written that step by step. First thing you want to check is if they are in standard form. Sometimes by converting them into standard form, you get same denominators, right? But if that doesn't happen, then we will go with the LCM. We will have to change them.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Especially in the beginning. especially right now when I'm mentioning that your rational numbers must be in standard form, my stress would be on denominator being positive. That's something I require. Denominator must be positive. Please do not work with negative denominator while performing plus or minus. मल्टीप्लीकेशन डिवीजन में इतनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी आपको, प्लस माइनस में ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम आएगी. बी वेरी केयरफुल व्हाइल performing addition, subtraction and comparison. There was one question we did in comparison also, where if we do not make our denominator positive, the answer changes. So same thing could happen here. Please make sure that you have your positive denominator and the denominators match for the rational numbers you want to add or subtract. Let's do a few parts. I hope that will make sense to you. Like after doing 2-3 parts, आपको clear हो जाएगा कि क्या करना है यहाँ पे. So the first thing that I would like to do is I would like to open the bracket here. Open the brackets. So right before the bracket, I have a plus sign, and after bracket starts, I have a negative sign. So we will have combination of these two. This is like integers. अब integers के rule follow कर रहे हैं. Combination of plus and minus will become minus. Opening the brackets, that will be the first thing I do. Then my rational numbers are already having the same denominator. So what I can do is I can directly have the common denominator, write my numerators and simplify. Now I would like you to remember the rules of integers here. 5 is positive, 11 is negative. This is positive and this is negative. So you have two values of opposite signs. What are you supposed to do here? Plus करेंगे. Yes, we will subtract. Subtraction करके क्या मिलेगा आपको?
-6.
-6. That's correct. The denominator is 4 and now we can simplify our answer. 6 and 4 have a common factor. Let's cancel them. किससे divide करेंगे इन दोनों को? 2 से. You will be left with -3/2. This will be your answer. Once again, if you do not remember how to perform addition, subtraction of integers or fractions, please revise chapter 1 and chapter number 2. You don't have to practice the sums, just go over the rules. आप एक बार rules भी revise कर लोगे, आपको याद आ जाएगा कि आपने कैसे किए थे sums. Because we require the rules here. We will be doing the questions. There are actually many questions to be done. Practice आपकी हो जाएगी. Unless you know the rules, there is no point of doing so many questions with me. Eventually, in exam, you will be the ones who will be solving your questions. And अगर आपको rules नहीं याद, तो आपके sums गलत हो जाएंगे. I can't, stress enough on this thing. Rules are very important here. Rules for addition, subtraction of rational numbers are based on the rules of addition, subtraction of fractions as well as integers. Now looking at the second part, if you want, it's not required to be written in exam. You can write down that you have like rational numbers. So there was no need of the LCM of the denominators. Whereas in this case, I have got unlike rational numbers. I would like to find out the LCM of the denominators and then convert the two in order to make them like rational numbers, so that I can perform the addition or subtraction, whatever is needed. So I would start with the LCM of 3 and 5.
15.
The LCM is 15. Now I will be converting. You can have one extra step where you convert them one by one. For example, you can convert 5/3 and make the denominator 15. And then you can convert 3/5 and make the denominator 15. This will be multiplied with 5. You will get 25/15. This will be multiplied by 3. You will get 9/15. And then take your new fractions and perform the operation. Please be careful. The sign from the question will be used here. क्वेश्चन में जो रैशनल नंबर्स थे उनके बीच में जो भी साइन था वो यहाँ पे आप यूज करोगे एंड यू गेट द आंसर एज 34/50.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Gagan.
Can you tell just once again that what are standard form?
Standard form.
Yes, ma'am.
Standard form, beta, your rational number is in the simplest form. Means उसकी कटिंग हुई होती है, आप और आगे उसकी कटिंग नहीं कर सकते. दूसरी चीज डिनोमिनेटर पॉजिटिव होता है. I would like you to just focus on the denominators. जब भी आपने प्लस माइनस करना है रैशनल नंबर्स को, सबसे पहले चेक करो डिनोमिनेटर पॉजिटिव है जो रैशनल नंबर्स आपको दिए हुए हैं. 2 रैशनल नंबर्स हैं, 3 रैशनल नंबर्स हैं, आप उनको ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हो, उनके डिनोमिनेटर्स जो हैं वो पॉजिटिव होने जरूरी हैं और उनके डिनोमिनेटर्स सेम होने भी जरूरी हैं. अगर तो वो पहले से सेम है, हम अपना काम सीधा शुरू कर देंगे, न्यूमरेटर्स को प्लस माइनस जो भी करना है. लेकिन अगर उनके डिनोमिनेटर्स डिफरेंट हैं, देन व्हाट वी विल डू इज वी विल फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कन्वर्ट देम इनटू लाइक रैशनल नंबर्स. हम एलसीएम लेके कन्वर्जन कर लेते हैं, जैसे यहाँ पे सेकेंड पार्ट में किया है मैंने. एलसीएम लेने के बाद मैंने कन्वर्ट कर दिया, उसके बाद मेरे जो रैशनल नंबर्स आए हैं, एज यू कैन सी, दोनों का डिनोमिनेटर मैच हो रहा है. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट.
Yes.
And then I can simplify afterwards. So 2 things: positive denominator, same denominator.
Okay, ma'am.
The students who have understood, they can start with the next parts of this question. Third part, we minus 9/10 plus 22/15. Now you have unlike rational numbers. The first thing we will do is we will convert them into like rational numbers. Yes, your answer is correct, beta. These are unlike. You don't have to write this in exam कि ये unlike है तो हम convert कर रहे हैं. You can directly start. Like that will be in your mind. By looking at these two rational numbers, what I observe is the denominators are different and I want to make the denominators same. So I'm going to start with the LCM of 10 and 15. Please take your time to find out the LCM. I'm using the method of division by common factors.